These are the best game user settings you need to use in Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 2 in order to get high FPS like this on screen and very low input delay. So starting off in the Epic Games launcher, you want to head to the top right into the settings, then scroll down to where it says desktop notifications and simply disable show free games and show news and special offers, as these can cause FPS stutters when they're pushed out, so it's best to disable both of them. After that, you can scroll down slightly and open up Fortnite. You can tick the additional command line box and you can put in these 3 different commands if you'd like, although I have heard that they don't actually do anything this season, but I like to just try them anyway. Next, in the library where you see Fortnite, click on it and then go into the options, and inside here you want to uncheck high res textures for a slight FPS boost. You want to uncheck DirectX 12 shaders as we're going to use performance mode, and I also recommend using the pre-downloaded stream assets as this can help you big time with ping. You can also go into the Epic Games launcher folder on Windows inside that engine file right there and actually paste in this command that I'll have in the description below. And what this does is it increases your download speeds on the Epic Games launcher, so you'll download game updates way faster than before. Oh, as well, inside the Epic Games launcher, I also like to verify the files to make sure these are all good for the brand new chapter. After that, you can open up Fortnite. It literally won't take long, and as soon as it's sorted, you are all good to go. Before we do launch the game up, let's reset our config. On your desktop, press Windows key and R, then type in %local app data, then you want to press F, scroll down until you find Fortnite game, and this right here is what we're going to be resetting. We're essentially going to delete it, but if you're a bit worried about that, you can make it back up, but I'm just going to go ahead and go straight for it and literally press the delete button, and just like that, it's been deleted. And the reason for this is it gets rid of all the old outdated files and replaces them with brand new ones. Now, after launching the game, it'll ask you if you want to find the best settings. You want to click decline, and once you enter, if you go into your settings, you will notice that by default it's actually reset all your video settings and just your video settings. Things like your sensing keybinds have not been reset, so don't worry about that. However, if you go back in the video and configure all of these settings to be the best ones, which I made a video about on screen right here, I'm just going to quickly showcase right now. You want the performance mode on for lower graphics. This gets rid of grass and improves your FPS. Brightness is personal preference. Colorblind is personal preference. However, for these graphics quality settings, you want all these on low or off. You want the 3D resolution on 100%. All these off. Shadows you definitely want off. Ambient occlusion you want off. Reflections you want off. For view distance, you want this on medium or higher, as this affects how far you can see items in game. Textures you want off. Effects you definitely want off. Post-processing you want off. Hardware ray tracing keep off. And then at the bottom under advanced graphics, you got NVIDIA Reflex low latency, which you need to have a NVIDIA GPU to use. If you've got a low-end PC, you want this off. If you've got a mid-end PC, you should try having this on. And if you've got a god tier PC, you'll probably benefit from having this on plus boost. But once you've optimized all those settings there, if you simply close down the game, we can now go back into local app data. If you scroll down to the Fortnite game folder, you'll see it's reappeared with brand new fresh settings. Just go inside of it, then go into save, then config, then Windows client, and here is your fresh game user settings config file. So if you slowly scroll down until you get to these global illumination quality settings, you want all of these on 0. Just change them from 1 to 0. Another thing I recommend disabling is the energy saving modes. Apparently these can give you a slight FPS boost, so you want to change both of these to false if you can. If you scroll down, you will find the scalability groups. Now the resolution quality, I do highly recommend using 100, as this will give you the best quality. Some people do lower this value slightly if they want more FPS. View distance I talked about earlier, I like having that on a higher one. And then for all of these settings right here, they should be on 0. So for shading quality, go ahead and turn that off. Same with foliage quality. And then you want landscape quality off too. I believe that's a new setting. But all of these off or on 0 should give you more FPS. After, don't forget to click file and then save. Next, we've got FilterKeys, a popular program that allows you to change values that are not possible to set in the standard Windows UI, with many people saying it can make your movement feel more responsive and also your editing feel more responsive as well. But to be fair, I'm not sure if it's a placebo or not. If you want to try it out, there's 2 methods to get it. The first method is manually editing the FilterKey settings in Windows. You can actually change the settings yourselves in regedit. Here's a location on where to change the values. Some example settings of this are on screen right now, but guys, do this at your own risk and research it. Or method 2 is to use the FilterKey setter. After downloading it, if you just extract the file, then open it up, these are apparently the best settings to use for FilterKeys. That's ignore on 0, repeat delay on 130 ms, repeat rate on 20 ms, flags on and available on. Again, do this at your own risk, and if you want more information / in-depth tutorial, check out the dedicated video I made all about it on screen. Next, you want to go ahead and open up the command prompt, but don't forget to run it as administrator. Inside here, I like to paste in this command that I'll have in the description, and what this does is it checks your entire PC for incorrect, changed, or corrupt Windows files. And if any corruption does appear, for myself, as you can see, there's actually none, you can then paste in this command that I'll also have in the description. What this will do is it'll go through and actually find all the missing / incorrect corrupt Windows files and actually replace them for you. But there's no need to run that if no corruption has been detected. I was just using this as an example. Oh, another thing as well, after running those checks, I like to paste in this command, and it'll basically do a quick scan to make sure all the issues were fixed. Next, you want to open up Discord and head into the settings at the bottom left. We're then going to scroll down to the advanced settings, and inside here we've got a setting called hardware acceleration. Now what this does is it uses your GPU to make Discord like run smoother. However, that can negatively affect your FPS. Obviously, it does depend on what PC you've got. If you've got a high-end PC, you won't notice this at all. A medium-end PC, you probably won't either. But if you've got a low-end PC and you have Discord and Fortnite open, you will probably notice this. And if you go ahead and turn this off, you'll probably get a huge FPS boost. Same with Google as well. A lot of people play Fortnite while having this open. They could be watching YouTube or doing anything really. If you actually go into the top right here, under where it says settings, then go down to the system on the left hand side, you'll see there's another hardware acceleration button right here, and essentially it does the exact same thing I explained earlier with Discord. Next, we've got keyboard optimizations. Now in your keyboard software, you'll see an actuation point, and for this, a lot of pros tend to set this to the lowest one possible in order to get the fastest input. As you can expect, the lower this value is, the more sensitive it'll be, and the higher the value is, the less sensitive it'll be. So most pros tend to put this to the lowest one possible to get the fastest actuation point. You also may have a rapid trigger setting, and this basically eliminates the second slowest element in input latency, return key press travel before key activation. This rapid trigger setting dramatically changes the actuation and deactivation point, and your keys will actually activate before you intend to press them and deactivate when you intend to let go. And you've got some settings you can play around with here. You also may have an additional setting that can lower your input delay even more. You can see here this cuts off 1 ms, which is pretty good. Next, we've got this post from Wooten titled "What Influences Keyboard Input Speed?" and inside it you can see here that they basically state that RGB effects can put a strain on your CPU, which can in turn cause input lag. So many pros choose to either turn off the RGB effects, or if they are using them, which some of them do, they choose to have a static preset, so there's no RGB wave animations going on. Moving on, finally, we've got TimerResolution, which is another application people have been using to lower their input delay, or at least they say it does. I'm not sure if it's a placebo effect or not. The app itself basically changes the resolution of the default Windows timer, and in turn, people claim that this makes their gameplay feel more responsive, gives them higher FPS, and even lower ping. As always though, the results that you get will depend on the system you're using, so please do your research before setting this up. If you do fancy it though, it's a very simple setup, just literally download it. I believe this is the official legit one on screen right now. For some reason now you need to pay for it. I always thought this was free, but once you've installed it, if you just click maximum, that will lower your timer resolution. And that right there has been the best game user settings you need to use in Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 2. If the video helped out, feel free to drop a like on it, drop a sub on the channel, and use my code either when getting the new battle pass or in the brand new item shop. That'd help me out a ton. And before you go, feel free to check out any of my other videos on screen right now.